This video was released 3 days early on Patreon. Hey there, I'm Aki and the Hydra shard is finally out, and you can get it right now. Let's take a look at what's in it. Now, I know it's been a while and I'll go over why it took so long and what we've been up to in detail in the devlog next week. But for now, let's focus on the Hydra. I obviously won't be spoiling everything in the shard for you, I'll just give you a brief overview of the most important features. This version of the Hydra is an early preview with limited features of what we will have in the final mod. We are using this to collect feedback, so make sure to let us know what you like and what you don't. The Hydra in the shard includes buildable areas, so you can plaster it with all your lockers and decorations. And it has a functional screen in the back that you can use to check your Hydra's health, change its color and its name. Skill trees, however, are disabled, and the screen in general is going to get some more polish later on. Now, while piloting, the Hydra behaves like a Cyclops by default, with a larger turning radius and staying upright. You do have quick access to buttons via hotkeys, which will be customizable in the final mod, but aren't just yet. Where it gets interesting though, is when you use ACM or Advanced Control Mode. Also referred to as Agility Mode, this switches your control scheme to using a tether that the submarine follows. You might know the system from flight or space sims, where they often use this for spaceships or planes. In this mode, the Hydra works somewhat like a fighter jet, with your left-right turn speeds being way faster than your up and down turn speeds. You can rotate your hull to change this direction, and we hope this is going to make for some really fun and challenging interactions in caves or areas designed specifically for this feature in the final mod. You also have access to a boost. This propels the Hydra forward quickly, but also increases engine overheat significantly. In the final mod, this is going to be an upgrade in the skill tree, but we thought we'd add it to the shard so you can play around with it, and we get some feedback on if you like it or not. So please make sure you tell us your opinions in the comments down below, or on my Discord server where you do need the feedback. If you want to support what we do, please leave a comment for the algorithm, or subscribe to boost the channel. Or check out our Patreon, where you can get some exclusive sneak peeks and custom creatures at the Architect tier. Now, engine overheat from the boost or flank speed can actually lead to damage to your engine. And that leads me right to the next big thing. The Hydra has 3 health bars: hull integrity, engine health, and systems health. The way they work is a bit complex, but it's explained to you in the shard, and I'll also explain it more in the devlog. Essentially, each of these are affected by different things and have different penalties for when they get too low. But again, I'll explain more about that in the devlog. You also might have noticed some of the buttons are grayed out. These are just a sneak peek at abilities and what we will add later on in Call of the Void, and so we can enjoy you speculating what they are. However, there is an autopilot button. Currently, all it does is move your Hydra forwards at a constant speed, no matter what. This is a placeholder, and will not work like this in the final mod. There, you'll only be able to use this with the map upgrade, where you select islands or clusters to navigate to directly. We just decided to include this so the HUD doesn't feel so empty, but again, this is just a placeholder. To get around the Hydra, you don't use ladders, you use elevators. We have custom animations and sound effects for each of these, even though they can sometimes be a little out of sync, which we are looking at. Down at the bottom here, we have 6 fully functional storage lockers that will be able to be upgraded later with the skill tree. So we go back up, and then use this elevator to go back to the top room. You'll see that this doesn't look quite as good. We're still working on some ambient occlusion issues, but down here we have a bed you can sleep on to skip forward and skip long journeys through the void. Again, all custom sound effects, and I think they sound awesome. We tried our best to make this a livable submarine, even though it's a lot smaller than a Cyclops. Now, last but not least, there are multiple music tracks for when you're under attack by normal creatures, and a different one for when you're under attack by leviathans. So make sure you give that a try. Or you can check out the Call of the Void OST videos I'll upload right after this one. Now that being said, we don't have a custom destroyed Hydra model yet, but that is obviously something we will be adding in the final mod. For now, the Hydra will just stop working after the explosion. I know that's a bit disappointing, but we just didn't want to delay this any further. And hey, maybe you can give that silent shirt another try with the Hydra this time. Surely you'll manage, right? So, how do you download it? The first link in the description will lead you right to the Nexus mods page, where you can click this download button. To use the mod, you also need to install Nautilus at version pre.33, which is a requirement, so it will warn you on the page. And that's it, just put both of those in your plugins folder and you're good to go. If you're having trouble installing the mod, you can join my Discord server and ask for help in the Call of the Void channel, and I'll try my best to help you. Or for more generic modding questions that aren't related to this mod, you can ask on the Subnautica modding Discord, which I've also linked in the description. But for now, thank you so much for all of your support. I hope you'll like the Hydra, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye!